Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss a topic on priming solution and its additives. I am Saranya, Assistant Professor from SNS College of Allied Health Science, Coimbatore. So before the video, we have seen about what are the priming solutions available. Now in this video, we are going to see what are the different primes available and its advantages and disadvantages. So the blood prime was used for the CPP and the HCT of 20 to 30% should be maintained during bypass. So what is an advantage of using blood primers? It maintains a buffer and the pH level. But there are various disadvantages of using a blood prime directly on the patient every time. So there is transmission of infectious disease, hemodialysis, required number of donors and the transfusion related acute lung injury. We cannot able to give a strain to the blood bank for each and every cases because we need more number of blood for the priming purpose itself. Next one is the fresh frozen plasma. Fresh frozen plasma contains a labile as well as stable components of the coagulation, fibrolytic and the complement activated system. It maintains an oncotic pressure and it has a fats, carbohydrates and mineral which is equal to similar concentration of that of plasma. So why you are using this fresh frozen plasma particularly is it is a replacement of isolated factor deficiency where the heparin cannot be activated in the patients and reversal of an warfarin effect and a massive blood transfusion, use of antithrombin 3 deficiency and treatment of immunodeficiency patients and treatment of thrombocytopenic purpura. It is a new thing which is called as a blood substitute or a perfluorocarbons. These perfluorocarbons are a synthetic blood substitute that have an oxygen carrying capacity. Interesting, right? This fluid is equal to that of oxygen carrying capacity of a blood, but not actually a blood. So the basic chemical structure of the perfluorocarbon consists of an carbon, fluorine, but may have an oxygen and N2 molecules also. So it's an effective emulsifying in a solution. So it can dissolve in whatever the solution that you are using and it can able to carry the oxygen. The advantages is it is a uniform release of oxygen. Oxygen solubility will be very high at the low temperature also and it has a unique feature to have a thermal heat transferring capacity. It is a rapid and the rapid cooling of the tissues can also be having an oxygen carrying capacity in the same level. It has no viscosity and aggravate the formation of hypothermia during the bypass and it is a clear, odorless, colorless fluid. High solubility of the oxygen and inert gases will be present and immersible in water. It has many advantages and it's under research for using as a prime and a blood substitute. Who are the indication for using this product is for the patient who refuse blood products and cardioplegic medium for using an extra solution and the perfusion of organs for transplantation, blood replacement during CPP, erythrocyte substitute following the surgical procedure. These are the advantages, but it is not even clinically applied till now because it has some disadvantage. So the perfluorocarbons remain in the circulation for some time, so it has lost their ability to transport the oxygen after 20 minutes. So it cannot be able to oxygen carrying capacity can be reduced after 20 minutes. So the perfluorocarbon deposited in the liver spleen and it cannot be removed from the circulation also. It cannot be removed from the endothelial system also, so it can activate the foreign particles. Another form of the solution is a 5% of dextrose as a prime. So we cannot able to use the dextrose for the full time as a prime, but we can able to add the dextrose into a 1000 ml of a priming of various solution. Why? Because the metabolism of glucose, it is a hypotonic solution, so the metabolism will be going on which gives an increased glucose level in the blood which is called as hyperglycemia. So this hyperglycemia will worsen neurological outcome of the patient. So once you need to add dextrose in a priming solution, ensure the patient is having a problem with the sugar level and you can add according to their needs. And crystalloid solution include ringer lactate, normal saline, plasmalate, normosol and all the solutions have a similar sodium concentration, that is 130 to 150 millivolts per liter. So why you are using this crystalloid is it affects the pH while it leads to a metabolic acidosis also. So it better you can use with the blood prime and the crystalloid in a component. Acidosis is mainly due to an hyperchloremia because of normal saline. So using a normal saline can lead to an hyperchloremia also. Ensure that you are not using a normal saline for the full case. Increase in unmeasured anions such as acetate and gluconate, which is a component of this priming solution. And decreased in the colloid osmotic pressure leads to an edema. So because it doesn't have a protein, so leads to an interstitial fluid shift. What is an advantage of using a colloid solution? That increases in oncotic pressure, it decreases the platelet aggregation, it reduces the lung edema, it maintains a colloid osmotic pressure, and use of an hypovolemic shock and used for a renal patient. There are various forms of colloid solution. For example, it is 4.5% of albumin, gelatin, dextrose and starch. The colloids are used for coating the extracorporeal circuit. But there are certain drawbacks for using these colloids because it interferes with coagulation, it remains in the body for a long period, it is very costly and availability is very less, and sometimes this leads to an anaphylactic reaction also. So ensure that you are using a proper number of colloid solution according to the patient's needs, and it can be used in the pediatric and the renal failure patients to support and reduce the level of crystalloid usage. Thank you for listening.